Too far. 13 people joined me on my 366th and final drawing prompt of the year, and I loved all the drawings so much that I wanted to share them with you in this video. At the beginning of last year, I challenged myself to draw something every single day of the year, and I was following prompts from this book, One Drawing a Day, which now is looking pretty beat up. The final prompt in the book was draw something sublime, and like I said in the intro, 13 people joined me and drew something for this prompt. The dictionary definition for sublime is of very great excellence or beauty. It was really interesting to see all the different takes on this prompt. So I'm going to go through them and I guess kind of react to each one, even though I've seen them already. Up first, this drawing was from my cousin-in-law Colin, and he drew a cup of coffee. Now I can definitely relate to a cup of coffee in the morning being a thing of excellence or beauty. And yeah, I think this is just a great drawing. I think it's a really nice touch that you put actual coffee beans on the paper when you took the wait a second, he drew those too. Great drawing, Colin, and thanks for sending me this. Next up, my aunt Colleen and her daughter Kenzie both sent me drawings, and Colleen's drawing is a great pun of a person who is sublime, under the lime. So yeah, I just thought that was really clever and funny, and I gotta say, like, that's a really good stick figure. Yeah, there's just some nice curves and proportions going on. There's the mouth and these little strands of hair just make it interesting and unique. So yeah, Colleen, I honestly think you should start a comic strip with this character. So yeah, thank you for the drawing. And then Kenzie drew Kenzie's Sublime pets, and these are honestly the cutest pets I have ever seen. So thank you, Kenzie, for this drawing. A whole bunch of my family members submitted drawings as well. This one is from Kayleen, and it's titled Honey Lavender Gelato at Butchered Gardens, Sublime. I think this is a really great drawing of an ice cream cone, and I think it's really cool that she associated this drawing with a memory. Next up, we have a sublime fox named Soren. This is from my sister Kerra. I think foxes are just great animals. I've actually seen a couple recently on walks around Waterloo, and yeah, I think they are just really beautiful animals. I think sublime works well. I like the attention to detail and the tone in the fur of this drawing. So good job, Kerra, and thanks for sending me that. Then my mom sent me this drawing of a beautiful flower, and my mom actually did a number of drawing prompts throughout the year. So thanks, Mom, for being one of my biggest fans. And then even my dad and Rolin sent me drawings yesterday for this prompt. And that's saying something, because I think the only time I've ever seen them draw anything is when we forced them to play Pictionary. And let's just say that their drawing skills or lack thereof are part of what make playing Pictionary with the family such a great time. Dad's pun game was really strong in this one, and I can really appreciate also that it's nicely labeled. We have the lime, the sub, and the sub under the lime, which makes it sublime. So there's a lot going on here. It's a sublime sub, because it's sublime. But yeah, thank you, Dad, for this drawing. And also I really I appreciate the detail that is in the contents of the sub. Like, I see some lettuce and tomato going on there. I think I see some chicken. I'm pretty sure this is a sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub from Subway. Looks delicious. And Rolin sent me this chess position. He recently got into chess, which is great because now we can play each other. And he sent this message with it: white to move, Anastasia mate in one, #sublime. So it's a mate in one puzzle. First, I would like to point out the tactical brilliance in his choice of drawing this on graph paper. All he had to do was shade every other square and he had a chessboard. and the pieces are distinct enough that I can tell what they are. I can tell that this is a rook, this is a bishop, this is a knight, and so on. And this is a puzzle, so let's solve it. So white to move, mate in 1, and the move here is rook to d8, checkmate. If you look at the king on g8, the king has nowhere to go because his pawn is blocking the square on g7, and the knight plays a huge part in guarding the squares on h7 and f7. Knight protects both those squares, so the king cannot move. Another factor here is the bishop on c8. That's just a really bad bishop. You don't want your bishop there, because if the bishop wasn't there, if the bishop was literally on any other square on the board, the rook could defend d8 and it wouldn't be checkmate. But the bishop is there. Black didn't develop properly in this game, and therefore Black lost. But yes, rook d8, mate in 1. It is pretty sublime. And then our friends Meghan and Travis sent me drawings as well. Meghan drew a sublime, and she sent this message with it. When I first read the prompt, I read it really fast, and my brain somehow turned sublime into submarine. But since she likes puns anyway, she went for it. I can definitely relate to misreading prompts. And actually, this prompt from not too long ago was draw a person from recycled material, and for some reason I read recycled metal. So I drew this guy all out of recycled metal, which technically is material, so it kind of worked. I got lucky. I dodged a bullet there, but I can definitely relate to misreading prompts. Thank you, Meghan, for this drawing. I really like this Sublime. I think it's really cute, and it kind of reminds me of the Yellow Submarine from the Beatles. And then Travis drew this great drawing of snowflakes and sent this message with it. Sometimes to see the sublime, we need to look more closely at what is around us. While that is true, the actual inspiration for this was more scientific. And because of the last part of that explanation, I had to go back to the dictionary, and I find out that sublime has more than one meaning. It's also a verb used in chemistry of a solid substance to change directly into vapor when heated, typically forming a solid deposit again on cooling. These aren't just beautiful snowflakes. These snowflakes are subliming. Wow. Learn something new every day. Thank you, Travis, for the drawing. And then my sisters-in-law, Renee and Wendy, drew something for this prompt as well. Renee drew the pug from the cottage. I love the interpretation of this prompt. There's something just super cool about a pug sitting on a kayak, wearing a hat, with the sun beating down on it. So thank you, Renee, for that drawing. And then Wendy did this beautiful watercolor of a person sitting on a cliff and overlooking an ocean in a rainstorm, maybe. Really powerful image. Thank you, Wendy, for this. And she said she was debating between two names for a title for this piece. 1, the sublimity of sitting at the top of a cliff, or 2, hey, the sky is falling and it's beautiful. I personally think the second option is better, but let me know what you think down in those comments below. And last but not least, my wonderful wife Jasmine submitted this drawing for Sublime. Reese peanut butter cups, a Sublime snack. I have to agree that Reese peanut butter cups are a Sublime snack. And I would also like to note here that I'm pretty sure Jasmine was the reason that so many people joined me for the final prompt of 2020. So thank you to Jasmine for getting so many people to join me for my final prompt. It really made my day when I got to see all these drawings and messages from you guys. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone for participating. Oh, we didn't look at my drawing. For something Sublime, I drew the Matterhorn, because I think there's something so beautiful about mountains, and I've never seen it in person, but I've always thought in photos that the Matterhorn has got to be one of the most beautiful mountains in the world. And yeah, so that was my final drawing. this cover fell off a little while ago. That was my final drawing from this book. And yeah, it was a great experience drawing something every day for an entire year. And the fact that so many people joined me for the final prompt was just a great way to end it. So thanks again. You know that lame joke I did for Colin's with the coffee beans? Do you think I should cut it? There's no one over here. I'm talking to myself.